Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of the ADHD Gamer podcast. This is episode 51, your weekly show where we talk about what we've been playing and the news of the week. I am one of your hosts, Mike McMahon, and usually I'm joined by Mr. Adam Hammonds, but he had something to do today. Today, it's just me and Mr. Devin Joyce. Devin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm glad at least you can be here, bud, because I'd be doing this by myself if not, which is, I mean, fine. I fully do not mind doing things by myself at all. But
I mean, without everyone here, who's going to remind you to hit record and make sure everything's is being taken care of right now?
Exactly. I mean, and doing all this stuff live now is kind of a weird thing because, excuse my language, shit breaks and. Doing everything, and of course we're new to the live stuff, so it's kind of a thing of like, maybe I should have got some of my friends that stream to come over here and help me for this, But it's last week surprisingly went kind of well. So anyway, if nobody really knows who we are, hey, we're ADHD Gamer. We come to you every week. We talk about the news that happens in the video game industry, I guess if you want to call it, news stuff. New releases that come out. We talk about that usually at the end of the show. We talk about what we've been playing. And a little housekeeping for you before we start up here. Before we hop into what we're playing, let's talk about the areas you can find us. So you can find us on all podcast services. And if we're not there, please let us know. Also, we have an email address that you can email us at adhdgamerpodcast@gmail.com. We can talk about topics that you send us and all that kind of good stuff. So just send us that if you can. And then last thing, if you can give us a like and subscribe on either, any podcast service you like, YouTube or Twitch, that way you know when we're recording and all of that kind of good stuff. That would be great and it would be really helpful to us. So yeah, Devin, how are you, man? What have you? Well, I mean, you're working late today, which is a great thing for you.
I am. We've got inventory, so I have a baby shift, and it's nice. Everyone needs a little shift every now and then. And it's 7 to 11, so it's basically a day off.
I do love those small shifts. Those I have usually my Wednesday nights are about a 4 to 5 hour shift, and it is now my other 4 nights are quite long, but it makes up for the 4 hours. So yeah, man, it's a wonderful thing. I definitely do love being able to just go to work, know I'm going to be home in 4 or 5 hours, and I can do whatever I want to. That's kind of a great thing.
Oh yeah.
So this week, bud, what have you been playing? You been doing anything special?
This week I have been doing a bunch of Demon Souls.
PS5 Demon Souls?
PS5 Demon Souls.
How does that new Demon Souls look on that brand new PlayStation 5?
It is beautiful, and yeah. I'll tell you what, like playing it on the OLED. I forgot
you got C9, right? That's the one you got.
I got the C9. It is beautiful. It is crisp. It hurts my heart a little, and it hurts my emotions a little because that game is so much harder than the other Dark Souls I've been playing.
Which one had you been playing before that? Oh, just you talking about just any of them?
Yeah, and part of it's probably because I just don't know the layouts. It hurts my emotions a little. Enemy placements and bosses, and I don't look it up before going in, so I just kind of I'm blindly walking through this game where I haven't had to do that in a Souls game in forever.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I've talked to you multiple times. Actually, part of the reason why I talked to Adam about bringing you on the show was because we don't have really a Souls type person to talk about this stuff about, and I'm not that person at all. The most Souls like I have gotten is Jedi Fallen Order. So yep. And that's the most Souls like I have gotten. Now I think did I do a little bit of Bloodborne? Yes, and then realized I do not like this. But I also didn't get far. So now that I actually know, that was also a lot of what before I knew what Souls likes were. So maybe hopping in might be a thing of maybe I can hop in now and do the thing.
Free on the PS5.
Yes, it is actually. I have it because of PS Plus a couple years ago. I have it. I have it in my account. Yeah. So, and then I actually bought the DLC before I even played it. It's like
nice.
Yeah. So that's
if you ever want to run through on that.
Yeah, we may look into doing something like that.
Yeah. But that's been primarily what I've been playing this week. I've played a little bit of Cyberpunk, but it's been a busy work week, so it's mostly been just coming home, playing some Demon Souls, and then going to bed.
Yeah. That
Yeah. What about
sounds
you?
that sounds about right. I mean, that's about the same thing for me too. Just busy work week, and I mean, I really haven't played much. I beat I platinum Miles Morales. I did get that plat. That was a you had to do a new game plus and able to get that platinum. So I was able to get that. Then you had to there was a bunch of there was some harder stuff on there, but not really. Like that was a pretty easy easy plat. I was playing and now I'm playing Sackboy, Big Adventure, and that game is I don't want to say the word mediocre because it actually is not mediocre. It is over. It is a platformer. I guess it's a 3D platformer if that's what you want to call it. Sackboy Big Adventure is a fun little process of a game. It is it annoys the living crap out of me, but it's kind of that thing where every video game kind of annoys you type situation. That one annoys the crap out of me, but I love it. So it's been fun so far. I'm playing that, and then I did another thing. So I got this from Amazon this week. If you happen to know what these are,
Nice.
this is a Pocket Go S30. This is a basically retro machine. I've been trying to go back and play a lot of older retro RPGs. So Devin, real quick before we go into anything, do you have a genre that is a genre that you think you love, but you like you? Let me try to explain this. You want to love really badly, but you haven't played a lot, or you might get bored in certain games in that genre. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, I would say I like and I want to like a lot of JRPGs. And there are some that I really do, but like there are older ones that I want to go back and play, and it's just
Yep.
you gotta hunker down.
So
Also
that
in real life, mangoes.
so
I
that's
wish I liked mangoes.
I wish I liked mangoes too, actually. I wish I liked guavas as well. So that's where I was going with this. So JRPGs are one of my favorite genres. I'm an anime boy. I love anime. And that's basically what a lot of JRPGs are. But I've never really been able to get into some of them. And so this week I started on one. I started on one of my I call my shame list of games that I've never played. I started playing Chrono Trigger. And Chrono Trigger is I can tell you, I have enjoyed that game so much so far. I'm playing it on this little behind, I think it's 640 by 280 screen, and I have save states, and it runs perfectly, and it, I have no issues. It runs at 60 FPS, and it's the perfect little way for me to do that. And, while I'm at work, I can sit for 10 minutes and play while I'm on break or while I'm on my lunch or, whatever. I got a 30-minute little lunch. I can play that and I can go about my day, and I can save and push save state, put it to sleep, go about my day. It's almost like a mini Switch for something like that, If they had released Chrono Trigger on the Switch, which that may be a thing. I don't remember if that's a thing, that I'm really stupid for doing this.
I don't think they did.
Or did they, maybe it was on the Nintendo Switch Online stuff, maybe?
Maybe.
But I don't know. But with that being said, so I've been playing Chrono Trigger, and then so after Chrono Trigger, I'm gonna go into Chrono Cross, which is not a sequel, but it's in the same universe, which was the PS1 title.
PlayStation 1, yeah.
Yeah, the PlayStation 1 title. I'm gonna go into that because I've talked to y'all about how I love I love PlayStation 1 JRPGs, but I've never. I like Valkyrie Profile is obviously one of my favorites, and I dove into that, and I dove into a lot of like Suikoden 2. Those are two of my favorites as well. If you have a chance, you need to check those out. Parasite Eve is another one. What's the other one? Vagrant Story is the other one that I was looking at too. I love PS1 JRPGs. I played the mess out of them when I was younger. Now a lot of that I didn't know what I was doing because I was younger, but once you learn it, it's kind of a thing. Now going back to them is very rough.
Oh yeah, so I had Chrono Cross when I was a kid, when I was a wee lad, and I tell you what, I stopped playing it pretty early on for the dumbest reason.
Oh god.
Because mind you, the internet was a thing, but it wasn't like nearly as good as it is now. So anyone listening, I couldn't just sit there and Google how to do this. That really wasn't an option.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to save the game.
Most of them have like just separate, like Chrono Trigger, for instance, has like a separate, like they have save spots, but of course I'm using save states.
But I couldn't find any save spots. I couldn't find like to save on the overworld, and it might have just been me being a dumb kid, but I was like, I couldn't ever play the game because I was like, I don't know how to save this game.
It's usually in the menu. Like normally, like I remember with Final Fantasy.
Like I saw the save option. It was grayed out though.
Like with Final Fantasy. If you remember with Final Fantasy 7, did you ever play original Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you remember with Final Fantasy 7, they had like the question marks, and you would go up to the question mark, and then you would hit your menu, and then that's when you saved from there.
Yeah.
Like with Chrono Trigger, for instance, they have the same kind of, like, it's not a question mark, but it's like 4 or 5 dots, and then you go up, you hit 4 or 5 dots, you go into your menu, and there's your save. Yeah, it's dude, it's been a fun process going through this game. I love old 8-bit style. I mean, we've talked about Octopath being one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and I've never beat that game, but it is one of my favorite of all time. And what was the Project Triangle Strategy is the newest one from that team, right? That's what we talked about? Okay.
Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, and that is a, what did we discuss that was? That's not an RTS, but that's it's a strategy. What are we calling that? What do they call
2D high def, or
a Fire Emblem like is what is
Fire Emblem like.
A Fire Emblem like is what it is.
Those are real good. I love
there you go.
Some Fire Emblems.
Tactical RPG is what it is. That's the words I was looking for and I couldn't remember. It's the words that's the Fire Emblem like games. So that's I'm waiting on that. That's gonna be fun. And their stuff is called HD 2D, I believe. I believe it's called HD 2D is their stuff. So that's gonna be fun. So yeah, man, that's really all I honestly have been playing is Chrono Trigger, and then I've been doing some more F1 2020. I talked to y'all about me loving Formula One, racing a little bit F1 2020. Me and a couple buddies from that I've known for a long time are doing a Formula One fantasy league, so that's gonna be a fun little time. Speaking of fantasy league, though, can you give me a fantasy league update real quick? Because I know we talked a little bit about before the show about how you got screwed this week.
I can. So in newest fantasy league news, I got screwed a little bit.
Smidge.
Harvest Moon One World launched on the 2nd. On the site it says the 5th, and in my score, there's nothing. They didn't rate the game.
So
I don't understand.
Hold on. So IGN didn't rank it. Like GameSpot didn't give it a.
Let's see if.
Just so we're aware, just so you're aware, if they didn't, you might have been saved because, from what I heard, nobody liked it.
Oh man, it's.
Is it here? Yeah, here we can look. What's the new one called? It's called
It's Harvest Moon One World.
Harvest Moon One World. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm seeing trailers. I'm not seeing. It's out, right?
Yeah, it's out. And yeah, even the Metacritic score is is
not that great.
No, you're looking at the one on the Switch. I'm looking at the one on the PS4. That's why it's different.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what's the one on the PS4 looking like?
2BD or TBD.
Oh, so okay, I don't know. We may have to wait a couple days and see because you also have that and Story of Seasons, right?
Yeah.
Which Story of Seasons I believe is supposed to come out this week too, right?
23rd, I think.
Because they're that whole franchise is so weird because Harvest Moon is the American version of Story of Seasons, which or the other way around. Yeah. It's one of those two to where like it was released in Japan for the longest time, and then one of them is one of it switched over, right?
We've been getting Harvest Moon for ever, and we just started getting Story of Seasons within like the last 10 years, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like the first Harvest Moons we got, I think, were for the Super Nintendo.
Okay, yes, I think, I think that makes sense.
Yes,
you're right.
Aside for me getting screwed over on the points, you're still sitting at 5. Eric is winning. No, I'm sorry. Eric is not winning now. Eric has 12, and Adam's
winning, right?
13 points.
Adam
still has not dropped Gran Turismo.
Right. I don't think he dropped that. Did he drop Golem already?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say he better drop that.
Although his counter pick is my Harvest Moon game, so. Yeah,
well, he may get a bunch of points out of that if they end up scoring it. What is so the games that Adam has is Little
Legend of
Nightmares.
Zelda.
Well, no, I'm talking about the games that have been
Oh,
scored. Little Nightmares 2 and what was the other one?
that's it.
That's it. He got 13 points out of
Yeah,
that.
he got 13 points out of that. And Gran Turismo was his other one that uh, just won't be released now. So
What did Eric get? What's Eric got that he scored?
he's got 8 points off of Bravely Default 2, which
Mhm.
is pretty decent. And Ghosts and Goblins, he got 4 points, so he's sitting at 12. Which now that I look at them side by side,
That's you got to think about it. That's what sucks about this is because now that's 2 games. That's 2 of your games that have scored. You know.
yeah,
I got 5 off of the medium, right?
yeah, you got 5 off of the medium.
Do you have a list of what's coming out next, of which one of our games would be next, right there?
Mine next is Story of Seasons for me. Then It Takes Two for
I don't think
Adam.
Oh, Adam does have that on his list.
Yep.
Okay, that's probably going to score in the late 70s, probably. That's normally what the
same day Monster Hunter Rise comes out for Eric.
Eric's got that as well. Okay.
Yep. And then we hit next month, which right around the corner, you have Outriders coming out.
Well, I hope that scores well. Because we got a little news story about that later. I'm going to say something that might get thrown back at me, but I don't think Horizon Forbidden West is going to launch this year. I think they're going to push it out of 2021, the fall. I don't know, man. Something just tells me that I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I fully believe Sony needs to launch games for this PS5. I mean, because they didn't put it out for no reason. But, like, I don't think God of War comes out this year. Like, I don't know what it is with me. I just don't. That you remember when we did the fantasy draft, I even talked about that myself. I'm like, man, I really don't want to pick this because I don't know if it's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
That's why if it does, Eric's gonna win the whole thing because he's gonna have that and Horizon if both of them come out this year. I mean, we've seen crazier stuff happen, so there ain't no telling. Yeah, man, this fantasy draft's fun though, dude. I do like it. Like, I do like doing it. I think it's a fun process.
It is. I find myself checking it even though I know like nothing's come out yet.
Yes,
just to check.
I find myself checking it a lot. I need to make sure I am spelling something right. And I don't know if we're gonna see if that's going. Yeah. So that's really so nothing more you've been playing. Nothing special.
No, not really. I've been
Okay.
like I said, I've been doing mostly Demon Souls. I jumped into Cyberpunk a little bit, and I find that I can jump into Demon Souls and then jump out of Demon Souls, but I can't jump into Cyberpunk and then jump out of Cyberpunk. That it turns into a whole day kind of situation.
Yeah, are you still playing and you're still doing Cyberpunk stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's good. It's fun. I get really into it, and then like a narrative thing happens, and I get really out of it.
That game is. I mean, I've talked to you about it. That game is a lot more fun than what people gave it. Do I see the problems with it? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Should it have sat in the bank a little bit longer? Yes. But
I really like the city.
yes, I like everything that it looks into. Like, I like the I like the way everything looks with the what's the word I'm looking for here? With
Like the aesthetics.
Yeah, like just all the cyberpunk stuff, man. Like, it's just it's a blast of a game. Like, don't get me wrong, the one thing that killed me was like there's some stuff in there that's kind of wild with the. For instance, I'm gonna say something, and I'll keep it as PG as possible for anybody that has kids listening and whatever. That game is, for a game that is super sexual and a game that is super like, hey, here's a bunch of dildos for you to go fight with and things of that nature, right? Or, here's a bunch of stuff you're going to pick up that's very sexual. The sex scenes in it are not, they're just stupid. Like, they're really dumb. Have you seen this? Okay. You know what I'm talking about then, right?
Yeah.
So for a game that's like, oh, let me throw this nudity at you. Let me throw this at you. Let me throw this at you. The sex scenes in there are like, man, you could have done a little bit better than that, dude.
It's like they got the intern to
exactly
everything.
Yep. See, Adam, see what you do when you're not here? You fuck everything up. Oh, man. It's kind of nice Adam not being here today. We can just talk shit about him while he's not here. It's kind of nice. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll just continue to do that. But, well, all right. Well, I think that's going to do it for the little segment of what we're playing. let's hop into some news, bud. So
Yeah.
we'll start it out with E3 2020. The E3 2021 live event has been canceled by LA or by Los Angeles. The Los Angeles I'm sorry. LA is working with the ESA for 2022 and 2023 to get them scheduled. The E3 will be basically a full on digital event. Also this week, I believe Comic-Con was canceled as well for another time, and they will be doing a online Comic-Con as well. So this is not surprising to me. I'm sure it doesn't surprise you either. We are still in the years of a pandemic, or in the time of a pandemic, should I say?
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't surprise me or you at all. Next one here, Ariana Greenblatt has been cast as Tiny Tina in the Borderlands movie. This is, if nobody's sure who Ariana Greenblatt is, I will actually do a thing real fast. Ariana Greenblatt actually played, who did I tell you? Young Gamora. She was the young Gamora in Avengers Endgame. So she was the child of Gamora. And I don't really know a lot about her. You asked me the other day how I felt about it. I don't really know a lot about her. I really don't. So it's kind of a thing where I like it. I like what Marvel does, or I should say, I'm not going to say Disney, I'm going to say Marvel. I like what Marvel does when they put a character that has, I don't want to say no affinity, but no affinity to any other movies, and they kind of just put them in there and, let them do the thing. Yeah. And kind of, I like that. So her coming in with, I don't want to say no experience, because she does have some experience, obviously, with the young Gamora role. I don't know. I just hope she does well, because Tiny Tina is my favorite character in all of Borderlands.
So I think Tiny Tina is like everyone's favorite character. Yes. So I fingers crossed for it.
Yeah.
I hope it does well. I'm not rooting against it. I just don't know how
the thing is,
pumped I am.
Like with Tiny Tina, she has to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like she has to be obnoxious. She has to be funny. She has to be edgy. Hopefully she can catch that, and that will be, hopefully we'll have to see. Next thing here, Square has a deal with Forever Entertainment to make more remakes. If I remember right, Forever Entertainment did, hold on one second. What did they do? They did I think they did the Panzer Dragoon remakes. I think, if I remember right, they did the Panzer Dragoon. I'm trying to look here and see. I'm not seeing anything. Here we go.
Panzer Dragoon, Green Hell, Goetia.
Yeah, I think the only one that I think the only one they worked with Square on was Panzer Dragoon. But with this being said, we talked about Parasite Eve earlier. I think this is gonna be a Parasite Eve remake. Now, am I gonna sit here and tell you that that's gonna be a thing? No, but the only thing, when I looked at the list of games that Square has from back in the day, which is a lot, Parasite Eve makes the most sense. Like, Parasite Eve makes the most sense because that's the one everybody likes. Everybody loves Parasite Eve. And it does have that kind of, if I remember right, it has that kind of like edgy, what's the word I'm looking for here? It has that edgy, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think about
the word.
No, it's not a word, it's a game. Like almost like Resident Evil 2 vibes, to where it's like that. It's like it has, if I remember right, it has tank controls, and it kind of has that, like, I don't want to say zombie vibe, but it does have that kind of vibe to it. So we'll see, man. I'm hoping that's gonna be good. We'll see what they're gonna come out with. They haven't released anything. They just kind of, something came out this week. They had a deal with them to make more remakes. This is one for Adam that I put in here, and of course Adam's not here. The new Need for Speed is going to be delayed a year to help with Battlefield 6. So we talked about Criterion being on the development of Need for Speed, which, if you don't know who Criterion is, if you like Burnout, if you like the Burnouts, that was Criterion. They are now on with DICE to help them make Battlefield 6. And it's understandable. They want Battlefield out. They want it out on a new platform. You got 2 brand new consoles out. You got, Battlefield 5 didn't do well.
Yeah, not at all.
So, they want to show what 6 can do. So yeah, you want to try and finish that game, right? That makes sense. And Need for Speed hasn't done well for a long time. So, you know, you kind of want if you take a year off, that makes sense. You know, keep a couple people working on it in the time, you know, whatever, you know. So we'll see. I mean, I don't want to say this is really a bad thing, you know. I have a fly in my room and it is bothering me, and you're going to see it on camera.
I can see it on camera.
Yeah, it's annoying the shit out of me right now. But yeah, you know, you want Need for Speed to be good, especially I want it to be good because now Adam, like we have Adam, of course, Adam loves those games. And Heat wasn't horrible to me. I actually think Heat was better than what a lot of people gave it.
See, I'm okay with them delaying Need for Speed because I actually really enjoy the Battlefield games.
Mm-hmm.
I like how much larger and how much slower they are than like your Call of Duties and your Apexes and all of that. So I'm hoping Battlefield 6 comes out and it's good.
Like, I kind of always liked how big the maps were. Like I don't want to say this like this, but I'm a huge, like, I guess, camper when it comes to like sniping in Battlefield. I love to snipe in Battlefield. And Battlefield's like the perfect game to snipe in, you know, because the maps are so big and you gotta. So yeah, whatever it's gonna do, man, I'm ready for it. I'm waiting on it. So moving on with that, Epic bought Mediatonic. If you're not sure who Mediatonic is, that's the Fall Guys developer. Actually, they bought the Tonic Games Group, which I believe is like Mediatonic, and there's a couple other little small. Let me see, Tonic Games Group. It's like might be a PR group. I know it's like media. They have Mediatonic developer. They also have a couple more developers, which I'm not finding here. Of course, they're not going to show. Oh, our companies, Mediatonic. Irregular Corporation. Okay, yeah, nobody will know. Fortitude Games. I know one of these people, one of these companies has not made a game yet. Like this will be their first game under Epic. Yeah, so this one, when it happened, kind of was a thing of like, oh, that makes sense. Like Epic wants to make money. They see the money in Fall Guys. They've done the thing with Fortnite. You know, Fortnite is. I know people don't agree with me, but I've said it once again. Fortnite is a perfect video game. It makes a lot of money. They bought Rocket League. They bought Psyonix, so they have Rocket League as well. It's kind of one of the things where you're definitely going to see a new battle pass, and you're going to probably. The good thing about this for like Mediatonic is, I don't know if you were in this conversation, Devin, in the beginning when Fall Guys came out, but that seems like the perfect game to put skins in.
Oh yeah,
and I remember there being a bunch of stuff on Twitter about skins, like seeing like Walmart. Hey, Walmart was tagging this game saying, hey, let's put a Walmart skin in this game, blah, 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 blah. Now this is the kind of stuff that they could do because of Epic having all that Fortnite money. And they would do that. You know, I'm sure these guys could probably go to Tim Sweeney and then be like, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. He's like, sure. Yeah, do whatever you want. Like make it's going to make us money. Yeah, do it. And it's going to happen. So I actually like that for those guys. You know, it's kind of cool for them. So that's a small one there. I haven't done any Fall Guys stuff. Have you played any Fall Guys? Did you play it in the beginning? Have you played it now?
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. I didn't like the way it felt. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, 100%. I got one buddy who was real into it. He was like, "Come on, let's go play it. It's like this great new game. It's so fun." And I played a couple of rounds. I was like, "Why are we playing this?"
Yeah, it was kind of a thing of like, I understood why it was a PS Plus game when it came out. Yeah. I understood why it was a PS Plus game when it came out, and then they kind of, which don't get me wrong, I am so glad that stuff like this happens because it gives smaller developers. I don't think they would have gotten noticed if it wouldn't have been for that. You know, like that's how Rocket League became a thing. It was released as a PS Plus game, and then then Psyonix just went ham from there. You know, and now it's one of the biggest esports games ever. You know, so yeah, we'll see with Fall Guys and how this goes. I didn't like it. I played a little bit with my brother and them, and it just wasn't too. I still have it installed for some odd reason. So if Epic does some big stuff with it, then if they give, like, I know when they bought Rocket League, I believe they gave everybody a $10 coupon who even started the game one time. So if they do that, I will download it on Epic just to get a $10 coupon. As bad as that sounds. All right, next thing here. You want to talk about this Aliens Fire Team that was announced this week? It was announced for summer 2021. Do you still have that trailer pulled up?
I have that trailer pulled up.
Okay, I'm going to go over here and we're going to watch this. If anybody that is watching our stream, if you can do me a favor and let me know if there is sound on the video, please, because once again, I want everyone to know we are new to this streaming stuff, so I am trying my hardest to do some certain things. Please let me know if you were getting sound, and if it's too loud or whatever, I will turn it down for you. Okay. All right. So Devin, you ready?
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit play right here on the beginning. Well, I'm actually at about 28 seconds in, is what I'm at right now. So I'm gonna hit play. If you want to watch a little bit of it, we can watch a little bit of it together.
Let's get started right away.
I have
Just,
no sound, so on my side, so trying to remember that. But you have sound.
What's doing with this video game and see what.
So
sort
we're
of
seeing what we're seeing here. It looks like
and
we're seeing some
happy things
third
await
person
us around
gameplay.
each corner.
Awesome.
Supposedly
So
it's supposed to be
we're
a,
playing We're on
I don't want to say a
Tatonga,
Left 4
which is
Dead
an
type,
orbital
but
refinery
a
in the
kind of
Outer
Left 4 Dead
Rim.
type. Devin, can you hear me
Our
while you're
battalion
watching
of
this?
Colonial Marines.
Okay.
We've gotten a distress call.
It's
and they sent this fire
I'm not
team
gonna lie,
us,
game
the
looks
three
good.
of us, in
Like
the-
it
to
looks pretty
investigate,
good.
do search and rescue.
So obviously,
And by the way, Aliens, we're talking about Aliens, the movie.
third-person
Like this
shooter
is going to
here.
be, this is
It
off
is
of
the three of us
the
against a
property
whole hell
of
of a lot
the
aliens. Now,
major motion
is it
picture, if you
always
will.
a three-person fire team?
It's third person,
Yes.
supposed to be a Left 4 Dead
Yep,
type,
always
to where
three-person
you're probably
fire team.
running,
You
you're
can
probably
play
running
solo.
around doing
We'll
killing waves of
give you
aliens,
bots so
and
that you can play
I'm sure
through,
there's gonna be
but
some kind of
really you wanna be going
upgrades, and I
through
think
with
it's
your
four. I think it's four. Is it three or four? I think it might be three people. It might be three people.
The general structure of the game, I mean,
Which is
obviously,
another
the
weird thing,
first
'cause
that
Apex
comes to
did that
mind
three
as I'm
person
in
thing.
here and the vibe I'm getting is very Left 4
and
Dead-ish.
we're going to
Or
yeah.
Left
everyone-
3 Aliens.
So
I guess,
we'll see
would
how
be
this
the
looks. I mean,
applicable
so far
term
it's
here,
looking
but,
pretty good.
I mean, is just
I'm
for context, is Left
kind of
4
enjoying. I'm
Dead
gonna skip
a
along here in the
reasonable
video a
kind
little
of
bit to where we can get
Co-op
some
games are all about making sure
fighting if I can find some here.
And then
Here we
if
go.
you get low on ammo,
So here we
you
see some
can
aliens.
switch to a sidearm, which I'll
What
do
are they
right
called?
now.
Aliens in the movie?
You can see it.
I haven't
It's a
watched
lot-
Xenomorphs.
lot
Thank you. I have
weaker,
not watched Aliens.
but
I have not watched a lot of
conserves
Aliens. I've
ammo,
watched
so you
probably
have
one
that
time. I
third
think what's
option
the
if
one I
you
watched?
need one.
Prometheus. I think that might be the
Now
one
I
I
know why
watched.
there was
Was
an ammo
Prometheus.
crate right
That it's in the Aliens
Yeah.
universe. I know that's a really bad movie. Well, it's
we
not a
got a
bad movie, but
spitter
it's
out
kind of
there,
a sort
Craig.
of a bad movie.
Yep. Got me.
But
Really
as we
spent
see here, you got some gameplay. Let me turn this down. You might.
And these,
Oh, yeah.
these aliens have a bit bigger of a health.
Yeah. So it
Got him.
The exits are sealed.
does this look like something you might
Yeah, the
you might
spitter
hop into,
launches,
Devin? Like something we could
launches
probably hop
acid
into as a
projectiles at you.
as a let's play, if you will, kind of thing.
Yeah,
There's a
I mean,
tool here.
I
We can test it
enjoy
out.
the Alien franchise, and
the damage
I
on when we go to
enjoy
higher
these
difficulty
types
levels,
of games,
and
so
it
might
becomes
as well.
real dangerous to kill things up
Joe, I
close.
do see you talking to us in the
That,
Facebook chat there.
that sounds
We have
like
not talked about our Outriders
way
yet, but I have
to
talked about it before. I am
Like,
actually
on that
playing the
note,
demo
you
right now.
mentioned no friendly
I am
fire
still
here
playing the demo. Did you get into it at all, Devin?
I downloaded it. It's sitting on my PS5.
Yeah,
to
it does.
launch it.
No friendly fire on.
So yeah, we're gonna
drone,
talk a little bit about it, and
no
actually a
friendly
news story coming
fire
up here
on
in just a couple
default,
seconds.
But as soon as you crank that up a little
But
bit
we haven't
more,
talked about much about it,
you're
but
getting
I
friendly
do
fire.
like it. I like what I've played so
Really
far.
tight. A lot of
I am probably going to end up buying it. I'm probably going to end up playing it. The
It is
multitude
not
of
a
live
way
service
for
games in the
long.
world
I
nowadays
love
is
the
a thing
drone.
that
It's
I don't want to say
stopping us.
frightens
It will
me,
be
but kind
back.
of like is a
It will be back.
Oh, great.
turns me off a little
Yeah,
bit. 'Cause there's just too
and
much. of
here
it.
it comes. Here it comes.
But we
Yeah.
but I have
got me
played
again.
it.
Oh
It does.
my
It looks like it's gonna be a
Oh,
blast.
it
The
went
full
up.
release. I seen there was a
It's
story
still there.
this
All right, we
morning
gotta
or
focus
yesterday
next
morning
time.
about
Back.
people grinding for
I'm gonna,
legendaries and stuff
I'm gonna
like
back
that
up
already.
a little bit.
And then it's, acid blood
so-
here.
Man,
Got
this
tracker
game.
down the middle
Now that
there.
we're watching a little bit more
Here,
gameplay,
it's
this
back. I'm gonna try to.
game looks pretty fun.
Oh, it's
Stunned it.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Stunned it. Stunned it.
I think we may have to hop into this.
Seen
Okay,
a
we
couple
downed it. We
minor
downed it.
animation things. I
I'm gonna have to use the health kit again.
This also
But,
could we also have to remember this all could be
I mean, yeah, it's an alpha.
a first build
Yeah.
build type situation. So yeah.
We got some coming from the left.
All right. I'm going to take that off there, and we're going to go back to our thing here.
Yeah.
So, that was Aliens Fire Team. We'll check that out. We'll see how it is. And
Pretty good.
sometime summer 2021 is what they were saying for that. So, we'll see there. Oh, I guess I can go over to this one now. Oh, shoot. You know what? I'm just going to talk about these, Devin. We're not going to watch trailer form or anything.
I'd say okay.
We'll just talk about these because we're not huge into the VR spotlight. So this week 6 new PSVR titles were announced. Basically, they were over on the PS blog. You can go check that on the PS blog if you get a chance. After the Fall was announced, this is a game from the people who made Arizona Sunshine. If you were into that, that was the zombie type game. It's co-op, fast-paced co-op FPS action. There's going to be another expansive JRPG inspired MMO, Zenith, is going to be coming to PSVR as well. I Expect You to Die 2, The Spy, and The Liar returns to PSVR. I'm not sure what that is. Action-packed Fract launches this summer. I'm not sure what that is either. Just go watch these if you get a chance. Embrace the Primal Wilderness of PSVR, survival game Song in the Smoke. Now that one's it's basically what it sounds like, a survival game based in VR. And then Face Your Nightmares and Doom 3 VR. Doom 3 VR is coming. And now, Devin, this one I would tell you to go look at a trailer of, because they did did you ever play Doom 3?
Yes, I did.
So the HUD on Doom 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Phil? I see you there. So the HUD on Doom 3 was up on your screen. On this one, it's on your watch. If you look down at your watch, your HUD's on your watch. So that's a new thing that they've done. They took an old game and done some new stuff to it, which I think is a pretty cool thing to do. You know, I think that's pretty awesome. I think that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, it's gonna be I'm not big into PSVR. Adam had one at one time. Have you done anything with PSVR?
I've demoed them. I've never been able to justify dropping the money on one.
Yeah, I don't. I now have the space to do it. My problem is I will end up punching something. I know me. Or my child will walk by and I will punch my child square in the jaw or something while I am in VR. I know how this works. Or like the one time I'd be able to do it's like at nighttime, and of course my 6-year-old sleepwalks. So that's all I need is to be doing that, and is to be in the headset, and then have somebody rubbing up on me or tapping on me in the midst of doing this, you know. And then oh god, what is this? No, get off me. You know, I don't need that. So yeah, I haven't done much with it either. I thought about it, and then Adam bought one, and then Adam immediately took it back, like, 2 or 3 days later, and I was like, yeah, all right, cool. So, next thing here, I want to talk about, have you seen this new PSVR controller patent?
I have not.
Okay, hold on. Don't look it up. Actually, okay. Here, hold on. Yes, you can look it up. Give me a second. Okay. No, this is not the one. Okay. So so you see what I have there in the dock. It says bananas, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, give me a second. So I'm going to switch over to this. I'm going to switch over to this window here. I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and then do that. All right. So we're looking at this from GameIndustry.biz here. If I can get this to working, because I'm dumb. So we're looking at, no, I don't want cookie settings. What am I doing? I can't see. Whatever, just let it go. Okay. Why is this not showing? Why is nothing showing up now? Of course it's not going to. Anyways. Jesus, nothing's working. Anyway, look, man. If you look up this story from GameIndustry.biz, basically what Sony is trying to do, of course, patents don't always work out, right? So what Sony's trying to do is take any inanimate object that you can use and put virtual buttons on them, basically. You know what? We really need to get somebody just to produce a show while we were doing this thing instead of me doing all of it. We really need to. I'm gonna make Adam do this. Yeah, since he didn't show up today, remind me to do that. He's an asshole. But what they're trying. So anyway, do you need the link or can you find it?
I pulled it up already.
Okay, are you on the same one by Brandon Sinclair? Okay. Yep. Okay. So if you look down there, you see he's holding a banana. He's holding a banana here. So what they're trying to do is basically put virtual buttons on. So you'll look down at the headset, and the headset will pull up a banana or a cup or a mug or whatever inanimate object that you were trying to use as a controller, and then you can put virtual buttons on that controller. It's weird, but I think it's hilarious, and I think it's a funny thing, especially if you look down, you can dual wield bananas. That's another thing that I find hilarious if you scroll down there. And basically what they're trying to do is, to me, it's like, okay, so you're trying to save people money on buying those controllers, right? Because I'm sure they're expensive. A PSVR controller, I am sure, is pretty expensive. So that's kind of a thing to where they're trying to save the money, trying to get you to save money, but also I don't know how well this would work, right? because it's, once again, it is a prototype, and well, I don't want to say prototype because it's not even probably done yet because it's still a patent, because patents happen every day that never work, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see. But I thought that was funny. You know, you basically you can use any inanimate object. I can use this can. Ooh, I just dropped my coaster there. You can use this can. I can use a banana, like they said. You can use anything. I would love to see what some people use, and I probably would also not like to see what some people use as these types of situations. You know, yeah. So moving on there, a good one, a really cool one. I'm really happy about this. Valheim has sold more than 5 million copies. I think that's pretty awesome, especially for that developer.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about Valheim while I find this story? Because you've played a little bit more than I have.
So Valheim is pretty cool. It's one of those little survival games. It got real big during like the people that were playing Rust.
Is it better than Rust to you?
I would say it's different. I wouldn't say,
because it is in early access as well. I have to try and remind myself about that.
So Rust, you know, you drop in, it's a gun game, you run around, you build a base. Other people shoot at you. It's a whole thing.
Right.
Valheim is the same concept, but everything that I have seen of it is smaller, like 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Norse themed. So you drop in to this map, your progress kind of carries over with you. So whatever you had on your character when you leave that game and go into a different game carries over with you, which is real cool.
I find that cool as well. So what you're telling me with that situation is like I can be playing on my own server, and then you call me and say, "Hey man, why don't you come over to my server? I can take everything that I have from mine and move it over to yours."
Yeah.
Okay.
It's anything that you had on you.
Like, but not houses and stuff, right? Just anything that's like inventory.
Inventory.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, they got mini dungeons in there where like there are little tombs you can run in, kill some skeletons. They've got like big boss monsters, stuff you can summon to fight. It's very much PvE.
Mm-hmm.
So I was enjoying it while I was playing it. There was a couple of people who were like, "Oh, come pick up this game."
Do they have PvP stuff in there too as well?
Not that I've seen. I'm sure they do, but I've only been playing in like the server with a handful of people that have got me to get the game.
Okay.
But
are y'all still playing to this day?
I am not, no. But I have a bad habit of picking up these games to play with them, playing like a couple of times, and then you're like, all right, I'm going back to playing my games.
I'm gonna go back to playing WoW.
Yeah, go back to playing WoW. Go back to Demon Souls.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you, man. That first week of I think I've turned my Series X on actually yesterday for the first time since getting the PS5, because I've been playing Astro and Miles Morales, and then playing Sackboy now. I haven't done much. It's a buddy
of mine.
What's up?
I was gonna say, a buddy of mine was like, "Hey man, I'm finally free for an evening. You want to play some Sea of Thieves or some Warzone?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll play some Warzone because I'm not turning my Xbox on."
Like, dude, don't get me wrong. I have always voiced this. I hate fanboys. I don't like fanboys. I don't like when people come at me with people are gonna take this the wrong way when I say this. I find fanboyism ignorant. Like, just let people enjoy whatever they want to. I'm sorry, I'm speaking to Jordan here in the Facebook chat. I don't know if it's 8 devs. I think what's Valheim got? 5? Valheim's got like 5 developers, right?
Something like that.
It's a very small team, and yeah, it is a great thing for them, especially 5 million copies, man. Think about that. Like, I hope the only thing that I know we're going back to Valheim here. What I'm hoping that Valheim does is I'm hoping the developers, it's Iron something Studios, right? Iron Gate, is that the developer? I think it's Iron Gate Studios, something like that. I hope they do the right thing and put their money into the right things, like maybe getting more people, you know, because they're gonna make a bunch of money. So what's Valheim? $25? You bought it?
Yeah, it's around that price point.
$25.
Yeah.
So think about that times 5 million copies. You know, you have a solid amount of money there. Now I'm pretty sure they have a publisher. I can't remember who published it, but either way, they're going to be rolling in some money. So, I mean, it's just really cool to see 5 devs or, you know, however many devs, 8 devs, you know, whatever, make a game this well. So we'll see. Like, I think that's pretty cool. I hope they put their money in the right spaces to where they can, you know, make a better game, because they talked about like the next huge update coming out like late next year, I think is what I had seen. So we'll see. I haven't done much of it. I have friends that have played a lot of Valheim and they like it.
I will tell you that their official website has only 2 Twitters listed for people in there.
Is it Iron Gate?
It's Iron Gate Studio.
Iron Gate Studio.
Valheim, and then they have one actual guy's Twitter posted in there.
I thought for the longest time it had been talked about like it was one developer. For the longest time it had been talked about like it was one guy, and then because I remember a bunch of podcasts I listened to talk about how it was like one guy the whole time. But I also heard it was like, then it went to 5 people and did this and did that and did this. So there ain't no telling. I'm sure there's stories out there that can tell you. But anyway, going back to, what were we discussing?
Valheim.
Before that, I don't remember, but we'll just move on. But anyway, that's great. That's great for those people at Iron Gate. I think that's really cool. I love seeing new developers come in, make a game. Valheim is this year's what's the game that went big and it came out in like 2018 and went big last year? Among Us. It's this year's Among Us or this year's Fall Guys, and I think that's great. I think it's cool. I love seeing we every year we get at least one of those, and this year of course it's Valheim. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Moving on to our next story here, a bigger Switch has already been rumored. This week we talked about, and this came the closest that we've talked, or the closest that I guess we've came to this whole thing. Have you seen any of these stories?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I could use a larger Switch.
Yeah, so here's the thing I'm going to tell you. So the storyline that came out that the rumors from Bloomberg, I believe it was what's his name? I always have Takashi Mochizuki is who wrote this article. So the screen is still going to be a 720p screen, but it's going to up-res to, well, I don't want to say up-res because that sounds horrible. It's going to play at 4K when docked. Which doesn't, I don't need a 4K Switch. I don't, because Nintendo games look great and what they are. Because that's, you know, it is what it is with that. They're talking about a 720p or a 7-inch 720p OLED touchscreen. It's coming from Samsung, I believe, is their thing. What I find hilarious about that, if you take the original Switch, right? You take your original Switch, you remove the black bevels. That's your 7-inch screen right there. So it's a weird thing where they're just going to, okay, we're going to bring this out without the bevels. It's kind of a thing that is what it, you know. So that's really all we've got so far.
The Switch currently doesn't have an OLED screen.
No, it has a LCD.
So
this would also save on battery.
It would, but you run the risk of burn-in.
Yes, you do, because I would say OLEDs do have a bad burn-in risk, and I mean a lot of, like, I have paused my Switch for a decent amount of time before and just left it sitting.
Yeah, and like the OLED screens that Samsung uses, they use in their phones as well. And I'll tell you, my TV, the LG TV, 100% fine, no burn-in. But I'm careful with that. My phone has burn-in.
Oh, so you do have some on your phone?
Yeah, and it's 100% just where, like, I've opened up YouTube videos on my phone and set my phone down so I could listen to those or watch those while I'm doing like games or something. The little text bar beneath the screen is burnt into the screen. And
probably the YouTube logo probably is up there too, because anything that just sits in one place for a serious amount of time.
Yep, man. So I hope they do something that'll, like, kind of like how a bunch of the TVs will have the pixel refreshers to help prevent burn-in. I hope they do that, because that'd be
we'll have to see. I mean, of course, this is still rumored. The only reason I kind of went with this story instead is from Bloomberg is because it came from Bloomberg, and a lot of those guys over there are like investigative journalists. So they go through and they will not post something if it is not a thing that has been talked about. So. And just to give a little bit of heads up, the Switch Lite has a 5.5-inch screen, and then the standard Switch is a 6.2. Like I said, if you take the regular Switch and remove the black bezels, I do believe it is a 7-inch. I do believe you get that 7-inch display from that. So, yeah, we'll have to see. They came out a couple weeks ago, and the CEO of Nintendo came out a couple weeks ago and talked about how there is a Switch coming out anytime soon. They're not ready to talk about it. But also with Nintendo, they could come out next week and be like, hey, here it is. And that's no time soon to them. So we'll see how that goes. They have been known to, they have been known to talk about something and then the next day release it. So we'll see how that goes. Super Nintendo World Orlando has been delayed 2 years to 2025. I'm not surprised. I believe the construction group that has been working on that, or that was going to work on that, has not been working this whole time. So it's been delayed from 2023 to 2025. So nothing huge, but just so you know. You ready to go to Japan so we can go to that?
I mean, always.
Adam's gonna pay for it, so we're good to go. We're just gonna make him pay for it, so he's fine. Adam, if you're listening, fuck you for not being here. I'm gonna let you talk about this next one, bud, because you're the one that added this into the end of the doc, right?
Yes. So
this now, I want you to know this sounded very appeasing to me. Just by a couple words in here, it sounded really good. Go ahead.
So they announced that Dungeons and Dragons will be getting a AAA open world RPG developed by Hidden Path.
Never mind. Go ahead.
If you're not familiar with Hidden Path, they are the ones that did.
They do all of the they helped with CS:GO, right?
Yep, CS:GO. They did Defense Grid, the Age of Empires 2 HD
edition. Okay. Yep.
Which, I mean, that's a real weird collection of games.
Yeah.
To be doing a AAA like Dungeons and Dragons, but hey, who knows? Maybe they're sitting there doing CS:GO stuff, and they're like, you know what? I hope we can finish this so we can get to tonight's session of D&D. I'm hoping it's just a bunch of fans making this game.
So, excuse me for 1 second. So with D&D, I think what I like about D&D games the most is that you can hop in anywhere, and the story is just the story. It doesn't have a set story of, hey, you got to play this game before this game, or this game before this game, or this game, or this game. I play a little bit of Crossbane. And that was fun. I enjoyed that, what I played of that. I used to play a lot of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance and Dark Alliance 2. Yeah, those were a blast. And I would love to play Baldur's Gate. And I've thought about getting Baldur's Gate 3 and playing it, but I'm kind of waiting until it gets out of early access.
Yeah, same. I will say there's not a lot of information out on it.
It was just announced, right?
It's just announced. I mean, it's probably going to be a third person.
We're probably 4 years out, probably 5 years out.
Oh, yeah, easily. See, the thing that I am most excited for is I want to see what it does for the established world. Like, I want to see what changes it'll drop into the books for the physical tabletop game.
Yeah. Jordan in the Facebook chat saying he thinks it's being made in Seattle. He thinks that studio is in Seattle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That would be. So you're big into D&D. So like, what is something like, for me, of course, the game's going to come out, and if I see it getting, I would probably not even look at reviews at that point. I would probably look at somebody like you or some of your friends in your Discord and ask like, hey, of course, you know me and you know what you've heard games I like. I'm a Ubisoft whore, so I love open world freaking tower, climb a tower and sink a point. That's it. I've talked about this multiple times. If your map has a bunch of points that I can just go and do a checklist of things, you have sold me a video game. And that is when I talk to you and say, hey, Devin, do you think I would like this? And you say, yeah, Mike, I think you would. And I go get it and play it. That's probably what I would wait on. I probably wouldn't even look at reviews. I would probably come to you and ask, or come to some of your people and ask, because y'all are the D&D people, and y'all would be the people, instead of somebody that doesn't really do anything with D&D, I would ask the people that do it weekly, you know, and say, hey,
Yeah.
do you like this? You know?
It's I'm probably also not gonna look at reviews. I'm probably just gonna get it and play it when it comes out.
There's so many D&D games that come out. I would say monthly, yearly, even. I mean, well, I would probably say yearly, yeah, 'cause there's probably 2 or 3 that come out yearly. Like, Mordheim was one, right? Mordheim was in the D&D universe?
I did not like that game. I tried. I
Was it-
tried that game.
But that's one, right? That's one I'm thinking about?
You're thinking of More Time. You're thinking of City of the Damned, which is actually I'm pulling it up right now. I think it might be in the Warhammer. Yeah, it's in Warhammer.
Warhammer, okay.
Which is a little bit different. A little bit different. Same concept.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that because I think Crossbane was the same thing, right? Is Crossbane also Warhammer? That was also the thing I'm thinking about.
Yep, that one's also a Warhammer one, which they have. It's a similar style of game. It's just a different game without jumping into a bunch of like in-depth stuff on the two of them.
Yeah. So what was the Left 4 Dead like?
That was Vermintide.
Vermintide. That's what I was. Yeah, I played a lot of that with my buddy Lewis, and we really enjoyed those. I really liked Vermintide. I didn't play a lot of Vermintide 2, but I really liked Vermintide. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. We'll see. Right now, I'm sure they're probably in pre-post right now, which is very, 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 very early development. So we'll see where that goes. These are a couple I added today. I'm gonna add Valve ended development on Artifact. If you're not sure what Artifact is, that was the card-based game they had a long time ago. Artifact really didn't do well. It had, I think they didn't sell packs. I think they sold by card, I think is if I remember right. And it just, it just did not do well. Yeah, it didn't do well at all. And then they took down, Artifact came up, they took it down, they re-upped it, they took it down, they were doing things to it. They were, it was like if I remember right, it was you had to pay by card. It wasn't the pay by. It was not pay by, I'm not real big into these types of games anyway, but from what I remember, that's just what I remember people talking about. So they've ended development on that, so no surprise there. If you know anything about Artifact, you're probably ready for that. Hogwarts Legacy lead designer quit after backlash of his YouTube channel. So this was one that had been talked about for about a week or so. I believe his name's Tim Levitt. Tim Levitt was the lead designer over there. They're working on Hogwarts Legacy, which is that new Harry Potter game coming out. It actually just got delayed to 2022. I don't want to say my speculation, but I would like to go ahead and throw out there that I'm pretty sure that it got delayed because of the backlash around Harry Potter right now because of J.K. Rowling and the things that she says a lot about trans people. And it doesn't sit well with a lot of developers. Actually, there was something this week, if I remember right. Tell me if I'm wrong, Devin. There was something this week saying that now in Hogwarts Legacy, you'll be able to be a trans person, I think is a thing.
I haven't looked it up, but I have heard.
Yes, that was a thing.
I've heard that.
Yes, I got it right here. So yes, you'll be able to pick male or female. I believe you'll be able to do male voice with female body or female voice with female, whatever you want to do. I think they were doing that a lot about backlash at JK. Yeah, Tim Levitt was big on his YouTube channel talking about like Gamergate and things of that nature. If you're not sure what the Gamergate thing was, that was a lot of gamers getting basically harassing women and harassing other things. He was big on that type of stuff. His YouTube channel talked a lot about it, and this week he got a lot of public backlash. So yeah, he's quit the game, which is just another thing to Hogwarts Legacy. There's going to be a lot of people that buy this game. I'm probably going to be one of them because I do like Harry Potter. I don't really care much for J.K. Rowling, never have, but I mean her writing is great. I will say that the writing has always been great with those books, and of course I'd never really read the books, but friends of mine did. Actually, I believe Adam's wife Courtney actually read those and would talk. Has talked to me about them before, and everybody So when this got leaked, Devin, do you remember when this got leaked that there was going to be a Harry Potter RPG coming out? It was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen, of course, it didn't look great, but it looked exactly like what everybody would want out of a Harry Potter RPG. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can see. Hold on one second. Yes, Joe, I agree with you. Jordan in chat, once again in the Facebook chat, says most devs support LGBT and or are either one. So yeah, most people are not going to support it. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, I agree with that, Joe. I don't think a lot of people are going to. So what I look at here is, okay, anything that has, tell me if this makes sense, Devin. Anything that has the Harry Potter name on it, JK is going to get money for. That is her IP. That is her thing. She's going to get money for that, right?
I mean,
so
yeah, probably.
there's
it'd be all contract based though, right?
Right, but like, so so game sales. So she's gonna get, if I buy the game and you buy the game, part of your money is going to go to her. That's part of how that is. Like it's her IP. Now the devs have said that they're not working with her on this game. They have said that. So which is, but also that type of stuff has been said before, right? To kind of get out in front of it. Hey, we're not working with this. But now with them adding this type of stuff, I fully believe they're not working with JK because, of course, she would say, no, I don't want that in this game. You know, and you know, so I fully believe they're not working on it. The thing that's going to be hard for a lot of people is kind of what we think about all the time with protesting with your wallet, as we would say, is if you don't agree with something, don't buy it, right? And what you also have to remember is, yes, J.K. Rowling, if she's saying things that you don't agree with, then yes, full on, don't buy the game. But try and remember that developers have worked hard on this game for years. You know, it's at this point, it's what, probably 4 years in, probably somewhere around there, probably 3-4 years in at this point. Probably we're getting close to 5. By the time it comes out, probably 5 or 6. Just try and remember that they have worked hard on the game, and you would be, I don't want to say you'd be hurting them because you probably won't. Well, actually, you probably would. If the game doesn't do well, it would hurt the devs. I really fully, especially if they put their all into it. So, I mean, I'm not telling you to buy the game. You do what you want to. I mean, you do whatever you feel like is right, you know. But I do see it hurting game sales with a lot of people. I mean, if this is, you know, if you don't really care about this type of stuff, then, you know, whatever, that's on you. You know, you choose what you want to do. But yeah, Joe, I do agree. Most people are not going to support it. Yeah. It's already been shown, actually, that I do believe that's why it got pushed back to 2022, was to try and get away from this, maybe for a year, you know, walk away from it for a little while. Let's see if it goes down. Let's see if JK maybe doesn't say a bunch of dumb shit, you know. Let's see if maybe it'll die down a little bit, right? So that ends there. And the last thing here, this is a big one for me and you, my friend. Ghost of Tsushima developers are becoming permanent ambassadors of the island of Tsushima. I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's not real, nothing huge, nothing real big in video. Well, I guess it is big in video games, but I think it's awesome, man, because you look at when Ghost of Tsushima was announced, right? And you had a lot of people, talking about, you know, I hope they do the right things. You know, I hope they, like, this is weird to say, but the reviews of Ghost of Tsushima that I was looking for when it came out were reviews that were written by Japanese writers, or written by, you know, basically written by writers of the area, because I wanted to see if they were happy with it. And if they were happy with it, I knew I would have been happy with it, right? I think I would have been happy with the game either way, but I think it's
a great game.
I would say more than great, man. I would say amazing. Let me tell you, last year when we talked about our game of the year, right? Most of ours were a little bit of the same. Mine were Hades, Last of Us Part. My game of the year was Hades. Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and then what was the other one I had talked about? There's another big one that came out last year. No, I think that's it. I think it was those 3. Oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake. So in a year, I've said this multiple times, in a year to where Final Fantasy VII Remake, the game that I bought my PS4 for in 2015, and it didn't come out until 5 years later. In a year that came out, 3 other games were released that just killed everything, right? Ghost of Tsushima was definitely one. It's my first platinum I ever got because I just love that world. I loved playing. You know, even in 30
It's so pretty.
Dude, it's beautiful. And I would love to see it on, like, I would have loved to have seen it in 4K HDR. I played it on a straight 1080p TV, and the game looked amazing. Dude, it looked amazing on a 1080p. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have loved to see it in 4K HDR.
It's ooh, Ooh.
I-
And I know they got some backlash for some stuff, and it was some
They
stupid
did.
stuff. But
And well, I
Right.
mean, like the Kurosawa mode wasn't great. Like that mode wasn't. They talked a lot. They talked a lot about that.
I appreciated it being in there,
Right.
but I would not use it.
Right. And I think that's kind of the thing that they wanted. Like they wanted, like somebody who loves samurai movies, right?
Mhm.
That's kind of a thing of like they wanted to kind of give to you, right? Give back to you and then let you see that. And I think that I don't hope. I know there's going to be more Ghost of Tsushima in our life. You know, there's no way that they're going back to Infamous after this. There's no way.
I just hope the backlash doesn't,
Well, there
infect
has-
the game.
Yeah, I hope not, but there also really hasn't been a lot of backlash since the game came out because almost everybody that played it, like every time I see somebody talking about like Game of the Year last year, right? Most comments I see are Ghost of Tsushima got robbed. And listen, I am a defender of Last of Us Part 2. I will always be a defender of Last of Us Part 2. I think that game is a masterpiece. Some people don't. Some people don't agree with me, and that is fine. That is your opinion. But Ghost of Tsushima did get robbed to an extent out of a lot of awards. That game was amazing. That game was great. Like I said, in a year where Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and let me remind you, that game was not bad. That game was amazing. Like, I loved it.
Game's also free on PS Plus right now.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
If
yes.
you haven't grabbed it.
Yeah. Please remember that if you're only getting the PS4 version, you are not getting the PS5 upgrade in June. Just try to remember that. But anyway, you can still play that game in 30 FPS, and that game is still fine. Yeah, man, I think this is awesome. Like, I'm glad that they're letting them do. I'm not sure what ambassador means. I don't know if that means like making. Do you know what ambassador of an island means? Does that mean like making decisions on the island, or do you know what that type of stuff?
I know what ambassadors do, but I don't know what they mean in this particular like sense. I assume it's just like getting the key to the city.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. That will make sense. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're going to go with that. I think that's cool because that means that I would probably say people on that island have played it or have played the game maybe, or maybe people that are from Tsushima have played that. And that means they liked it maybe.
I wonder what the tourism like boon they got from that is.
I bet it was high. Like, I wouldn't think that would have been that high because that was during COVID, right?
Yeah, but still.
And I think Japan was like almost fully shut down, if I remember right.
So,
if I remember, I think they were shut down. So I don't know, man. We'll see more. I think Adam fucks everything up is going to be this title, by the way.
Yeah.
I really do think that's going to be the title. Of this
I was going to say that or dual wielding bananas.
I really like dual wielding bananas, but we'll probably play both those into each other. So that's awesome. There's our news. Devin, you want to go into new releases here and tell us all what's coming out this week?
Yes. Well, yes, except for the first one because I know that one's your.
Oh, okay. I'll talk a little bit about that. So this week we're gonna have I'll let him talk about the rest, but actually I'll talk about the two that I added. So Elder Scrolls Online Flames of Ambition DLC is coming out this week for PC and Stadia. It'll be coming out March 8th, which is my birthday. My birthday is tomorrow. So I will be enjoying a lot of that. I'm gonna be enjoying some of that tomorrow when I play. I'm probably gonna be probably not tomorrow, probably tomorrow night. But I'm gonna be enjoying that. And then Watch Dogs Legion is gonna come out this week on PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One on March 9th. The multiplayer. This is the multiplayer for Watch Dogs Legion actually. So there was a story that came out this week that it will be delayed indefinitely on PC. So I'm not sure what the problem is there, but so if you're not seeing the multiplayer for Watch Dogs Legion on PC, then that's why. All right, bud, go ahead.
So Apex Legends is coming to Switch March 9th, which do you do any Apex Legends?
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of it. I'm still playing a lot of it to right now. I've talked to my brother a little bit about this because it coming to Switch is a cool thing because that means I'll be able to play with him like while I'm at work. Yes, Joe, I play a little bit of ESO. And I'll be able to play while I'm at work on my lunch break and stuff. Like I'll be able to hop in for a match or so with him. The thing that annoys me is that there is going to be crossplay. from what I know. But what annoys me is that EA still has not figured out cross progression in Apex. And if a company like Epic can do that to like almost perfectly, like I've said multiple times, I can move from mobile to Switch to PS4 to whatever. What also kills me is that they have announced a mobile version of Apex coming out eventually, sometime next year or the year after. And if they're going to get cross progression, they're going to have cross progression for mobile. There's no way they can get around that.
I was gonna say even Blizzard doesn't really have cross progression. Like if I play Overwatch on the Switch or if I play it on the PlayStation or the Xbox or the PC, like they're all separate accounts. And it's unfortunate because I have skins on
your PC version.
Yeah, I would love to have on the PC.
That's me with PC. I have skins on the PC that I would love to use on my Switch, because I have the Switch version. Me and Eric used to play a lot.
It's real exciting. Apex, I've played a good chunk of. I haven't played it in a while just because honestly I'm not great at fast-paced shooters. I don't have that reaction time.
Yeah.
So
what's
slow-paced battlefields.
What's also going to kill me is that trying to remember that the Switch is going to be 30 FPS. You're going to be running 30 FPS on this Switch screen. What I'm going to tell you why I think that this was finally announced and they want it out. For some reason in Japan, either Japan or China, Apex has taken a huge leap for people playing. And in Japan, the number one console is the Switch. Switch is outsold like PS4 and everything over there. So it makes sense for them to do, and it needs to, like, it needs to go other places than just the 3 that it's on, Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, bring games to more people.
Yeah, exactly.
What it comes down to. Just, it's a fun game. More people should have access to playing it. Should be able to get to experience it because there are people out there that only have a Switch.
Right.
Yeah. The next one. You already talked about. We are jumping.
What's that one?
Down. The Watch Dogs.
Oh yeah, I talked about that.
Yeah. Jumping down to I don't know how to pronounce this one. Ginso Skydrift. Have you seen
probably
anything on that?
I have not. Do you want to look at it?
So it is, if you want to pull up a trailer for it, is
give me a second here.
Interesting looking.
Give me a second here. I'm going to have to pull a YouTube thing and we can look at that. What's it called? Do you want to spell it out for me?
Golf Echo November.
That's not what I needed, bud. No, I got it, bud. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm good here.
For you. I was like, all right, bud.
All right, yeah.
It looks interesting. It's like you got it pulled up right now.
I am pulling up as we speak. Please, everybody, remember that we are doing this nonsense for. Okay, here we go. Of course, we're gonna have ads in a second. I will try and get out of this ad as quick as possible for you guys. Here we go.
Today's show is sponsored by
Raid Shadow Legends. So here we go. We're looking at some gameplay here of Ginsao. What is it? Ginsao Skydrift. This looks like the Switch version.
Such a weird. Switch version. Such a weird looking game.
We're also looking at. I mean, we also have to remember like a lot of this is anime stuff.
It's super. It is the most Japan game I have seen. Like I don't know if you're actively watching this right now. You're actively. Look at what that's not like a surfboard.
Oh no, she's flying on another person.
Yep. Yes, it is. And it's a little. It looks like a Mario Kart.
You know what? Almost like Mario Kart Double Dash, because I mean you had because if you remember right, in Double Dash you had two separate players, and then both of them would have two separate attacks, right? If I remember right, with Double Dash, right?
This is, I'll tell you what, it wouldn't be on my hit list, but I wouldn't drop it. If I saw it on sale, I'd probably pick this game up and be like, alright,
I got or as they call it, anime bullshit. I kind of want to see how this is. Yeah. If you play this, please, you'll have to invite me to we'll have to stream a little bit so I can see. So yeah, that is Ginsao Skydrift is what that's called.
It's just the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Oh, did I not? Did I not pause that? Let me go back to that. No, of course I did pause that because Michael's not smart at times. I'm so glad that people are cool with us and knows that I'm trying best I can here. All right, what's the next thing we have here?
The next one's the best one. Just the best game that could ever come out. It's Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 4.
They've released a lot of those.
They've released 3 others apparently.
Yes, they have, and actually, I think they've actually reviewed well. I don't think they've been horrible.
It's one of those things that back in like the PS2 era, you saw a lot of like Tony Hawk, and then you saw a lot of like the snowboarding games. Then you saw a lot of like the ATV games, but you don't really see those anymore. So I think this is just kind of like filling that niche for some people.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yep. I don't have much to say on that one. I'm just throwing that out there. I thought it was hilarious that a 4th one's coming out because I always see them, and I always see them in like the bargain bin.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's also a thing, like, I think it's a lot, I don't want to say it's kid games, because I think a lot of kids like those, but I mean, also, a lot of grown-ass adults love those games, because especially if they're Supercross fans, you know?
Looking at you, Kyle.
You know, especially, yeah, all the monster and all that good stuff, yeah, punching holes in drywall and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, what's the last one here before we get out of here?
Last one, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Switch on March 12th.
Yeah,
those are
the next gen versions, right? And then also so this is next gen version and the Switch version, I believe. If I remember right, don't quote me on this. If you have it on the Xbox One or you have it on the PS4, it's seamless to where you just get those games. It's all backwards, or not backwards, but it's not backwards compatible.
Free upgrades.
Thank you. Free upgrades. Yeah, you get your free upgrade. And of course, Switch is $40, I think. So that's a pretty good price for that, you know. So it's, I mean, if you like Crash, there you go. That's awesome for you.
Oh yeah, it's exciting. It's weirdly nostalgic to have played Crash as a kid, and now the PS5 is out and there's a new Crash game coming out. Like, part of me just wants to pick it up.
Well, I mean,
I would only play it like once or twice.
Yeah, it's been out for a while on Xbox One and PS4, but I mean, yeah, this is the 60 FPS version, the upgrade, and this will be the way to play it if you're going to do it. Yeah, most definitely. So, Devin, well, I think that's really going to do it for us today. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, Adam wasn't here, so he screwed everything up. That's kind of why everything was. It's kind of why everything's bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Adam's gonna know that. Adam fucks everything up is gonna be the title. He just doesn't know it yet. He'll know when that notification comes up of new episode of the podcast comes up, and it's definitely him. So, but everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Devin, thank you for coming here and being with me today. If not, I would have been doing this all alone. I probably could have. Man.
Anytime.
Yeah. I probably could have definitely. I definitely could have done this. I mean, it wouldn't have been an issue, but I mean, it's pretty good to have things screw up when people are here with you. So, yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys for watching once again. This is the ADHD Gamer Podcast. We come to you every Sunday, sometimes at 8 a.m., sometimes at 10 a.m. I really can't help you with knowing what time that's going to come because it all depends on what time Devin goes to work. So it all depends on what time. Well, lately, we've been okay. We've been okay to start at 10, which has been all good for a lot of our sleep schedules.
Thank goodness.
Yes, because sometimes recording at 8 a.m. is a pain in the butt. But it's also better than recording at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night, because we definitely used to do that too. So, once again, thanks again for watching. You can find us on all podcast services, ADHD Gamer Podcast. It should just be ADHD Gamer, but you can look for podcasts. I'm sure you'll find us. YouTube as well. Also, you can look for us on Twitch. Subscribe if you want to. You can see us, and you'll get us. Hit the bell. You know, we'll do all the kind of random good stuff there. Yeah, and make sure to send us emails at adhdgamerpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll talk a little bit about, whatever your topic is, or, whatever, I would like to have, eventually I would like to, Devin, I would like to have an emails segment every now and again where we talk about emails, where we talk about, stuff like that, and talk about random, it does not, once again, I want to remind y'all, it does not have to be about video games. It can be about some random, like, hey, this food or this food, what do you think? It can be about random stuff like that. I'm perfectly fine with that. This is not, whatever. But once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Devin, thank you for showing up. And that's going to be it for us today. Everyone, we'll see you next week. Have a good day.
See you guys later.